Okay. Welcome to That's Good Broncos podcast, YouTube channel. Illegal organ harvesting ring. We do it all here. Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up over at DraftKings to take advantage of their exclusive offers here to our Colorado audience. And also, my coffee brand, Benchwarmer Brew. Link in the description, benchwarmerbrew.com. Yeah, it's my coffee. I started a coffee company. I've got organic, craft, roasted beans, ethically sourced, and we donate a meal to a hungry family for every order that's placed through the Faya Foundation. So when you buy my coffee, you're doing something good for somebody else. Will hasn't even tried the coffee yet. I've got to get him some beans, but just so you know, it's down there. We've got some Broncos shit to get through today. Let's see here. Let me pull up my script because we've got Steelers, Ravens playing right now in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon. Beth Bowlen making some noise about the Broncos ownership situation. The Garrett Bolles Pro Bowl voting. You can do it now through social media. So we're going to campaign for Garrett. The Steelers-Ravens game that's being played right now is just a great cherry on top of the hypocrisy of the NFL. We might dive into that. Some injury news. Kyle Shurmur, the quarterback, joins the team. Shelby Harris might play. So some actual news to get through ahead of the Broncos got to play the Chiefs this week, which I am not too excited about. But
who is?
God. Where would you like to start, Will?
I would like to say, first of all, Benchwarmer Brew. It's true that I have not tried it yet. I guarantee, though, once I do, I will give it a glowing review, or like you threatened, my pay will be severely docked, which is fine because I'm a company man. You also said that it's ethically sourced. And that doesn't mean that, they grow it ethically. It means we steal it from Starbucks and rebrand. Because let's face it, they have enough money already.
Exactly. We steal it from other people who ethically source it.
Yeah.
We're like the Robin Hood of coffee.
Yes, except we also charge a lot of money for it.
And we would never employ Kevin Costner as our spokesman.
No, one of the worst accents in movie history.
Yeah.
He mercifully gave up on it halfway through. I'd put that up there with probably Keanu Reeves from Dracula. Oh. From the Francis Ford Coppola Dracula. Both really bad accents.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've ever seen that one.
Entertaining movie. Wouldn't rush out to see it if you haven't already. But if it's on, it was on TV the other day, so hey, why not?
Fair enough.
With our football team, however, this is the frustrating thing is we feel like we didn't really get to enjoy a football game last week.
We were robbed.
Would you agree?
We were robbed.
It felt
of
like just a waste of a week, and you only get 16 of them in a year, and you have to cherish them all. At least I try to. And recently, it's felt like we only get 14 real games a year, and the other two games are just kind of a foregone conclusion with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So to lose a game last week and you come back and have to play this game, it's a tough pill to swallow, but they're gonna try their darndest. Has Kansas City lost a player to COVID this whole year? I'm not convinced that they even test.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Chris Jones went on the reserve list, but I believe he played that same week. I think he cleared all the protocols or whatever.
Right. And I'm just watching Cam Hayward sack RG3 right now. I can't wait for the hissy fit that John Harbaugh's going to throw for like competitive reasons. And maybe he has a point.
Yeah, maybe
But
Harbaugh will actually have the balls to say something after this shit show.
yeah, I mean, after like a few days, do you think Fangio should have gone a little harder? I mean, I'm sure they're doing things privately.
Hope so. That's one of the things. Like we've learned that the Broncos are unhappy with the NFL, but everything they've said publicly, they've been kissing their ass and
Right.
being like the good team to accept, responsibility for blame. Ed
Well, they're
Werder,
probably right to do that.
Ed Werder took a shot at Mike Kliss on Twitter too. Did you see that?
No. What did he say?
He was like, well, let me just pull it up. Let me pull up the exact words. It was about.
I mean, no one tugs the NFL's balls harder than Ed Werder. So
Yeah. Where the hell is this?
fumble punt.
Who fumbled on the punt?
I think it was Ray McLeod of the Steelers.
Oh, Ravens going to get a chance?
They just might.
Yeah.
Their defense is playing pretty goddamn well, and special teams, I guess.
I tweet too much.
I don't know why I called fair catch.
Okay.
This is probably really exciting for people who watched this game like 6 hours ago.
Yeah, you're really good at carrying the podcast when I'm not talking well. All right. So Mike Kliss was tweeting about Locke, Rypien, Bortles all testing negative. So they're cleared to return. And then Ed Werder was like, at some point, you really should probably hold the team you cover accountable for breaking the rules meant to protect all during the pandemic. The league had no way of knowing these QBs were close contacts of a teammate who tested positive, wouldn't be infected. So,
Yeah, they do. It's called testing them.
yeah, it's called testing them, Ed. It's also called, you've got the Ravens playing a football game right now in the middle of a fucking outbreak where 25 Ravens players have tested positive. A player and a coach tested positive yesterday, and they were around the team. They didn't travel to Pittsburgh, but they're letting them play right now. So the hypocrisy, Ed, is fucking thick. It is thick.
No, you're absolutely right. And here's the thing is you can hold them accountable for not following the protocols as, strict as the protocols are. And I'm sure, we haven't seen the video. We haven't seen pictures. But I can't imagine it was terribly egregious given that no one else got it.
Given no one else got it and what we've heard their explanations be, given it's been Drew Lock and his mother, but it sounds like as honest of a mistake as you could make, and they all accepted responsibility for it. And yes, they could, discipline them some way, however they want, and they could have waited until Tuesday to play the game when the negative tests were all there. And that's so by Tuesday, if any one of those quarterbacks say tested negative, then fine. Don't let any of them play. And at least you gave Kendall Hinton a day or two to learn maybe 3 fucking plays on offense. That's what we're pissed about. Right. And there's like people out there who just want to play the blame game. There's always going to be those type of people who want others punished without understanding the nuance of any situation. They see it as a black and white sort of thing. And we've already bitched about this, so I don't want to get into the weeds with it again. But it's just every day
it's worth bitching about because new developments have come to light since last we talked about it. The most damning of them all, the fact that I'm watching a game right now between the Ravens and the Steelers. You can still hold the quarterbacks accountable and at the same time acknowledge that the NFL had nothing to lose by pushing it back another day. The NFL wanted to teach them a lesson. They wanted to make an example of our team. and it was totally unnecessary, and it was unequal treatment.
Yeah,
There's no getting past that.
I guess like the biggest thing they would have lost is maybe angering the New Orleans Saints and forcing the Saints to be in Denver for what, like 3 days or some shit. But I think even the Saints would have understood. They were talking about I think it was Cam Jordan and Demario Davis had a lot of praise for Kendall Hinton going out there and like playing with no preparation.
Yeah.
So like nothing respect for that dude, because everybody understands how shitty of a position that young gentleman was put in. Which is why I tweeted today, should Kendall Hinton be in the Broncos Ring of Fame?
I think so.
Yep. This is always a hot point to talk about on podcast radio shows, right? So I'm just trying to play the game.
Is that like one of the things that they debate for hours?
Oh yeah, it comes up like once a year about like John Lynch and other players, like who's deserving, all that shit. I mean, I get it.
Something
You
to
got to talk about
I
something
guess.
every day for 3 fucking hours.
Right. Hey, fair enough. Whatever drives the ratings up.
Okay, so the other thing that happened, a lot of ownership talk for the Broncos. Troy Rank tweeted out Beth Bowlen statements. Let's see here. Beth Bowlen said, "My sister Amy and my uncle John Bowlen and I have had the privilege, along with all fans that bleed orange and blue, of seeing what a winning team looks like. Watching these past few seasons has been extremely painful, and we continue to see no other way to restore a franchise for our fans but through a transition of ownership of the Denver Broncos. My father, Pat Bowlen, would never have accepted the team's current state. Fortunately, my father's legacy as one of the NFL's greatest owners has been solidified at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. We will forever reflect on the over 30 years of ownership that got him there with great pride. Our desire is for this team to be restored to its winning ways and to see more Super Bowl championships for Broncos country. We have been committed to and will continue to pursue resolutions on all issues in order to ensure a smooth and timely transition. We are hopeful the current leadership agrees that this is in the best interest of the Denver Broncos and most importantly, it is in the best interest of our incredibly loyal fans, my father's legacy, and the Bowlen family." So they are pushing to get the Broncos trust to make some sort of decision on transitioning the team to the Bowlens. And then there's a dispute within the Bowlens, because the trust probably going to give it to Brittany, not Beth. So then there's like some other legal thing.
Not Johnny.
Johnny's not getting it for sure.
I don't think he can be trusted to run like a fucking McDonald's at this point.
No.
Yeah, that's hard work. I'm not saying that's easy.
Yeah, follow him on social media. You'll understand what we're talking about. So I guess like I saw Ryan Koenigsberg bring up a good point in that he said he thinks like somebody from the Bowlen family is capable of, leading as an owner in an appropriate way, but also that the Bowlens don't have the extra billions of dollars to be a truly effective ownership group or however you want to put it. So at this point, would you rather just see the team get sold to somebody than to have the Bowlens continue to run it?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because on one hand, you got you feel good keeping it in the family.
For the namesake, right?
Yeah, right. And you feel like, okay, well, Pat was such a great owner. Maybe she can be too, but you kind of just have to reconcile the fact that they're two different people. And if the money's not there, it makes it really hard to compete. And it's not like in baseball because there's revenue sharing and, we're not hiring Billy Bean to make the most of like a $30 million payroll here.
Right.
But you do need some cash flow, especially now.
Yep.
It's incredible. Like the NFL is going to be more strapped for cash than they've been in decades, probably. Coming up after this year, we already know it's going to happen to the salary cap. So I think at this point, like it just feels, I don't know, you feel kind of helpless waiting for them to be sold. You feel helpless right now because they're just in a total state of purgatory, and it's impossible to have sustained success without a good owner, I think.
Yeah, it just like if one of the Bowlen kids you looked at and thought was, oh shit, yeah, that is Pat Bowlen's child. Like that person is going to continue to do things like the way he did, then I think I would support it. But I feel like I would lean towards them selling to someone who can keep the team competitive.
Yeah, and you do need money. That's the thing. Even if we decided she's as competent as they come, right, you're still hamstrung if you don't have the funds to make it work. And two, when you're selling a franchise or you're looking for an owner, you want a couple things. I think people talked about like on one hand you've got like the Bezos thing, right, and at that point you have unlimited funds.
Yeah.
And that's an advantage, but you also have a guy that's going to be, somewhere in the hundreds in terms of the list of his priorities. And so he's not going to be a particularly involved owner, you would think, just because, he's got half the free world to run at this point. So you want a guy who's got some money, first of all, not just kind of like enough, but just overflowing amount. And you want a guy who's going to be involved. You want someone guy or woman, obviously, but you want someone who's going to treat it as like a passion project or a hobby rather than an enterprise.
Right.
Because you can make money in football with a losing team. You want someone that's competitive and is in it because they like football.
You want an ultra competitor.
Yeah, you want someone that like cares about winning. And it's hard to find someone that has the money to do that and just kind of understands that they're probably going to lose money until they sell it, hopefully decades down the road, and is also, interested in winning. So those are kind of the two things I think you need to have.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't know who that is, but I do have some breaking news, Will.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Per Benjamin Albright, the Broncos have claimed Will Parks off of waivers. Billy Will back in Denver. That's actually
it feels good.
That feels good. That's a great pickup for a team that behind Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson, you get a guy who can fill in, who can play all over the defense, who knows the defense. And with Bryce Callahan being hurt this week, I guess I don't know if he'll be able to play Wednesday.
No, I don't think he can play this week.
We could have used him against Kansas City, but I think it's cool. Yep. He's back in Denver. Everybody, I think, loves Will Parks. It's unfortunate it didn't work out for his favorite team, the Eagles, and him, but I'll take that back. I'll take him back.
So will I. Yeah, I mean, he was I think he was probably a player they wanted to keep, but
yeah,
you can't just dole out money for everyone.
If they were
so it kind of worked out.
Yeah, they weren't willing to pay him or Justin Simmons, so that's probably that cash flow we were just talking about, because you got to have
that's the thing,
that money in escrow or some shit when you make new
right. I don't know. You have to have the cash liquid
Yeah.
You can't just be like, we're going to put a lien on the stadium or whatever. I don't know how it works specifically, but kind of like the broad strokes are you have to have the money up front in the NFL. But yeah, going back to Parks, I think, it'll be a really good pickup for the rest of the season. Do you know how long his contract was in Philly? Not that it matters now, but
It was a 1-year deal, I'm pretty sure.
it was a 1-year deal. Okay, so it's probably a prove-it deal. Hopefully he plays well at the back end of the season and they bring him back just for, I don't know. I think he's a good player, and it's always fun to see someone come back. You know what's always weird, though, is when a player leaves and comes back and they don't get their old jersey number.
Oh, right.
Because Bassey has it now.
Yeah. It's funny, too, because every time I see Bassey, I first think it's Will Parks.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can't, once it's gone, unless you finagle it back, which I don't think he'll try to do. He's not that big. But I just think about Tatum Bell coming back and wearing number 21. Something weird like that.
Right.
I'm trying to think of another example, but you get the idea. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's mostly just I
Tricks
just
your
want my
eyes.
brain to not have to learn a new number for an old player,
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly about convenience. So
Correct.
Bryce Callahan won't play this week. It's a foot injury to a same bad foot, but it's not the same injury. So I think that's good news. He might miss multiple weeks. So losing your best corner when the Chiefs come to town, that sucks.
Great.
That sucks.
When you go to the Chiefs town.
Yeah. Exactly.
Even harder.
And we just watched the Chiefs. We saw Mahomes put up 460 or 420 against the Buccaneers. They almost lost. Yeah. But
I'm gonna write it's. Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill had 220 yards
269
at the end of the first quarter.
Or 229.
At the end of the first quarter, right?
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable because the record, I think, is 336. And I'm going to write a piece for Adam about – I would write it for you, but I already gave him the idea.
Oh, you gave him the idea?
I have to come up with ideas.
Wow.
Why a receiver – It's not really our target, but it's why a receiver will never break Flipper Anderson's record. Of 336 yards. And the idea is what did the Buccaneers were holy shit, we're getting torched on every single play. So we have to just shift triple coverage to him and accept that we're going to get beat by someone else. And that's why most likely it's not going to happen anytime soon. But without Bryce Callahan, who knows who would have been on him most of the time. You just you have to basically play Justin Simmons like the Browns used to play what's his name? Jabril Peppers, where he's so far back he's out of the frame.
Yeah, it'll be a corner on Tyreek Hill and then Justin Simmons trying to protect as extra help deep.
Yeah.
So instead of having your safety being able to, roam around the field appropriately, you got to have somebody else covering Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. It's not
going to be fun troublesome this weekend, I don't think. But
no.
Okay, so the week before, you were saying that the Broncos could have started Brett Rypien and used that minor injury Drew Lock had instead of a benching, right, to give him a week off. Well, he got a week off. Yep. So maybe this is Drew Lock's bounce back game.
Here's the thing. You got the week off after what I thought was a good performance by him.
Right.
Not a great performance, but
not a great one.
A good enough performance. Maybe he was ready to build some momentum there.
Yeah.
And now he's going to play a Chiefs team coming off of a good performance where odds are he's not going to have a lot of success. It's not as exciting a proposition as it would have been to – I mean, obviously, what I said was I don't know if I was exactly correct there because he played fine against the Dolphins. Another thing that I've thought about with the NFL's decision not to postpone the game and force us to start Kendall Hinton instead of our starting quarterback, Drew Lock, is they need all of the tape and all of the reps and all of the games to evaluate Drew Lock and to make a decision going forward. And the NFL robbed them of a Drew Lock game against a really good defense.
Yeah.
And
it would have been nice to see how Lock fared against them.
Hinders their ability to make a decision to some extent. And I'm kind of upset about that among other things, the fact that, there was no competitive integrity.
It feels like this whole season's just going to be basically a waste for the Broncos because it's been ruined by injuries. You haven't gotten the amount of reps and looks you want for Drew Lock. You've got Vic Fangio getting fired rumors after this season, but Ben Albright, who I think has the best pulse on these sort of things, says he expects the Broncos to make a couple coaching changes, but not to Vic Fangio. I don't think it would be fair to fire Vic Fangio after this season.
I don't know.
But if you had a much better option, which I don't know if you do, then why not make a move now? It's just like everything you were planning on trying to be able to do this year, the Broncos have not been able to do. They didn't.
Right.
Cortland Sutton's not on the field. Justin Simmons, he didn't get paid, and he's playing great. So you might get fucked out of having him on the roster next year. Garrett Bolles got extended because he's playing great. Nobody saw that coming. Your defense lost so many guys up front. You're going to have to figure out if you're going to pay Shelby Harris after this year. It's just, I don't know. It feels like they're just playing for no reason, and it's been so much out of their control. Shelby Harris might return this week, which is nice. A good week to get him back, I guess. I don't know where I'm going with this. Blake Bortles is now going to be sort of isolated from the other QBs as their emergency guy. But so is Kyle Shurmur, Pat Shurmur's son, who was signed by the Broncos. So they'll have two options, and they might bring in a kicker to have as an emergency kicker in case, McManus wouldn't be able to play.
That's a good idea on their part.
That's a really good idea because if you don't have your kicker, who is also your best offensive player at this point.
Yeah, then you have to, pretty soon the Broncos have to go sign Sarah Fuller off the Vanderbilt women's soccer team to do kickoffs.
Exactly.
And then go for it on every fourth down. Yeah, it's not a great place to be. I just saw Derek Wolfe make a huge tackle for loss. Good for him. Hopefully we can get him on this show pretty soon.
Yeah, you mean future co-host Derek Wolfe?
I meant permanently. Yeah.
Yes.
Permanently get him on the show.
Yes.
Ravens are fired.
It is a good time for me to remind you that today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Now, the gyms might not be full, but there's no shortage of madness, like my brain, this college basketball season. For us fans, the college basketball powers that be have gifted us with a top-tier matchup between two powerhouses, Gonzaga and Baylor. Can you confirm they are powerhouses, Will?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Gonzaga is very good, and Baylor is number 2, so I think it's number 1 and number 2.
Well, they're going toe-to-toe for what could be the nation's top ranking. And DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is bringing you closer to the action with these can't-miss offers. DraftKings is giving all college basketball fans who sign up now the chance to win $100 when betting on either Gonzaga or Baylor to win in this clash of titans. Plus, you'll get a deposit bonus of up to $1,000 when signing up with code DNVR. DraftKings Sportsbook has endless ways for you to bet, from live betting to betting on your favorite players. They do it all. DraftKings is safe, reliable, and secure, making it easy for you to deposit and withdraw your money at your convenience. So download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code DNVR when you sign up for your shot to turn $1 into $100 when betting on either Gonzaga or Baylor to win, whatever tickles your fancy. That's right. Bet $1 to win $100. Use code DNVR to take advantage of these offers for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Got to be 21 years or older. This is for Colorado only. Bonus comprised of a first-time deposit bonus. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I think you should bet Gonzaga, because my girlfriend went there and she'd be mad at me if I didn't say that.
Wow, that
So
is a
that's
hot
why.
tip.
Yeah. Also, they're pretty good. Another thing, not really apropos of anything, but my brother tested, or maybe he didn't test, but he took CJ Anderson's temperature today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at work.
Wow.
Yeah, because
And
that's not like his job or anything. He's not like, he doesn't work at the stadium, but they need extra guys there, and he's in marketing at Cal, so he has to come by a couple days a week and help him out, like taking temperatures and doing tests. So he shot CJ with the temperature gun
the forehead gun?
right in his forehead. Yeah, and talked to him for a little bit.
Yeah, we got that gun for our baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to take her temperature.
It just it feels like the No Country for Old Men gun, and you're imagine like Javier Bardem coming up to you and taking your temperature like that. I'd probably shit my pants.
That's a great meme.
That's a good like sketch, I think.
Yeah.
If I were a writer for SNL, I would, and I'm not yet, I would write a No Country for Old Men sketch, but Anton Chigurh is like taking people's temperatures. He's like, hold still. And then
I know two people who work there, if you want me to pass along your script.
Do you really?
Yeah. Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney. I used to edit their shit at Maker. Well, Beck, him and Nick Rutherford, I used to edit their show Theater of Life. Not saying they would actually like answer my email, but you put a good script together.
Hey, let's make it work. Let's make it happen.
That's a really funny idea, though.
I swear to fuck if anybody steals it. We might have to bleep that whole thing out.
Nobody who watches this show is gonna steal it.
No. I'd trust everyone who watches this show, even the Chiefs fans.
I've had so many great ideas on here not stolen.
Which leads you to believe maybe it wasn't as good as we thought.
Yeah, no shit. Like our best redhead script video.
Is it underperforming?
Severely. But it's got a long shelf life. People are gonna find it. Here's a question for you. Is the word ginger offensive?
I don't know.
I didn't think so. And then we wrote a script that had the word in it a lot. And then I got scared that it might be. So I tried to take it out where I could. I don't know. I got weird about it. I don't think I should, because it doesn't seem like it seems like something I hear people say all the time. But then I was like, fuck, is this something a redheaded person would not want to be called?
It's like saying,
no.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's like saying strawberry blonde. I've been called a ginger before and I get offended, but that's because I don't have red hair.
Oh.
It's got it can have a reddish tinge to it if I'm in the sunlight. I acknowledge that, but a ginger, I picture a ginger like Andy Dalton, like, or someone with like the red freckles and can't stand the sun for like 5 minutes. Kind of what the old South Park episode where you got the day walkers and the straight gingers.
Right.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, please watch that video and hit refresh
1,000 times.
until you get carpal tunnel. Yeah, that's maybe the only way we can get a little momentum on that video.
Yeah,
it's okay though.
It's all right.
Who are you picking for this game?
Broncos, Chiefs.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say that
the Ravens game too.
Oh, the Ravens game. I've got to turn back on.
7-9, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh will come away with it, but
okay.
If the Ravens keep it close, they should pat themselves on the back because they don't. They've got a lot of reserve players out there.
Yeah, they have a reserve long snapper. Their Pro Bowl, All-Pro long snapper Morgan Cox is out. That's tough.
That is tough. I mean, and then Big Ben threw an interception in the end zone, a la Shelby Harris,
Right,
so,
right.
We'll be back with the regular prediction episode this week here on That's Good Broncos. We took last week off. What else? I think we covered everything I had written down.
I'm glad we took last week off because who the fuck could have predicted that shit?
Yeah.
To quote
we did
Charlie Murphy.
We did an emergency live broadcast. Kyle Shurmur.
Yeah.
Have you watched him play any football? I saw he was with the Chiefs for a bit.
Played for the Chiefs. Yeah. Did he play at Texas A&M, I want to say?
I don't know. So
I feel like I probably saw him play there.
So he's a capable –
I can't imagine it's much good.
A capable man, I guess. That
he made it to the NFL. You don't make it to the NFL on nepotism, right? They might have signed him as the emergency quarterback out of nepotism, but
no,
I think that's also good for like convenience because they can, communicate and shit. And
so what you're saying is Kyle has more of a reason to be on the Broncos roster than his father, Pat.
No, I think he's on the roster because of his father, but
yeah, but if you're talking about nepotism, I would say Pat Shurmur has a job because of it.
I think nepotism, yes, that's true. Because of his dad. Yeah, that's a good point. I think you might be right there.
I just don't think Pat Shurmur has a great track record as an offensive coordinator. But he's continued to get work in the league. So it's just one of those things. I just thought it was interesting. Kyle Shurmur got the gig when we had Kyle Shanahan, another son of Broncos legend, within reach. And as I stated in my video this week, I think Elway is bad with decisions about guys named Kyle. I think he's anti-Kyle.
You should have never released Kyle Johnson. He wasn't the general manager back then, but still. Yeah, no, you either go no nepotism or
Kyle
nepotism
Sloter.
all the time.
Another guy they let go.
Yeah, he's starting right now.
Oh wait, you want to know what I did last night, Will?
What?
Oh fuck, you're gonna probably think less of me for this. Come on, where's that script at? I was working on the all-food team, seeing if I could fill out an entire NFL roster with players who have food-based names. I've got Baker Mayfield, Dalvin Cook.
Nice.
Ricky Waters, C.J. Ham,
I
KJ
would
Hamler.
argue that water is not a food and rather a drink.
Things you can consume. Jerry Rice,
Okay.
Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Irving Fryer, Jared Cook, Jeremy Sprinkle, Lloyd Cushenberry, Greg Van Rotten, which isn't food, but food can go rotten. Aaron Brewer, Eric Fisher, AJ Cann, Taco Charlton, Julius Peppers, Corn Elder, Malcolm Butler, because a butler serves food, Akilla Witherspoon, because you need a spoon. You need a spoon to eat food. Jabril Peppers, Buda Baker, Deron Cherry, Eric Berry, Tyler Bass, Sam Koch. That's what I got so far.
Chase, what do you think on that? Butler food related or kind of a stretch?
I mean, he opened it up with not food related, but things you could consume. So unless you're consuming a Butler, I'd say no.
Okay, there you go. Sorry, you're gonna have to find another corner.
Yeah, I thought.
I think it's actually pretty good though.
I thought I could do it with current players. I looked at every team's depth chart and realized
Nah,
not there.
not quite.
So then
That's a good idea.
You got to go and do NFL history, and then you run into a problem where Cook, Bakers, and
Cooks.
Berries can be used too many times for this list.
Yeah, I think you only get one there because you could do like Greg Cook, who was great for a season at quarterback.
Yeah.
How about Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah. See, I was wondering, like, he's got Burger in it, but if I've got Baker,
I think that works.
He's better than Baker Mayfield, but
yeah, I think so. That's something to expand on. Maybe it would do better than Gingers.
Yeah, I was reminded of it when I heard Corn Elder's name. I was like, oh yeah, there's a dude named Corn Elder in the NFL.
That's really a ridiculous name because we kind of just like we see it and we kind of write it off, but when you sit down and think about it for a second, that a human being could be named Corn is kind of hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
Unless it's a nickname.
Yeah. Maybe it is too. Because like Taco's a nickname, but he just goes by Taco. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so his name is Cornelius Marquise Elder.
Oh, damn. Dude, Cornelius is such a cool name too.
I think Corn, just like if your legal name is Corn, very weird. But if your full name is Cornelius and you go by Corn, that's kind of cool.
That's fine.
I think.
Yeah, I'll have to do some more exploring here. I got to start looking into players in NFL history if they could fill it out.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of potential.
Yep. Just another brilliant idea nobody's going to steal for sure.
No, that's time for that.
All right. Well, thanks for making it through our fucking podcast. Like this video or whatever the hell you want to do. Will.
Sure, what up?
Good night.
And
Bench warmer brew!